Yo, what's up guys, it's Blizzard Hoops, and today I'm bringing you my predictions of the Eastern Conference standings for the upcoming 2018 NBA season. One point that involves every team in this conference, and I didn't really feel like mentioning it for every single team, is that the East is pretty trash. Meaning like 4 All-Stars went West, leaving those teams to be complete trash, and like that's obviously going to result in a lot of these East teams getting more wins than they would have originally, so just keep that in mind. And like I said in my West video, I mean, basically nothing else to explain about how this video is going to work, so let's just hop right in. At the first seed, I'm putting the Cleveland Cavaliers with a record of 58-24. I feel like this season, LeBron will put more effort into the regular season, as quite frankly, he knows he can't beat the Warriors, so in my mind, I see his goal for this upcoming season is to win MVP. And by doing so, he wouldn't rest as many games, which would also result in more wins for his team. Also, they added some hungry players to their team like Derrick Rose and Jay Crowder, which will for sure give them a boost for the regular season. At the second seed, I'm putting the Toronto Raptors with a record of 57-25. To me, this is an obvious choice. I know most of you will disagree with me because they didn't really make any shocking moves this summer, but let me explain why. Well, every year, Lowry and DeMar DeRozan have been getting better and better, which basically proves to me that this season will be great for Toronto fans. Also, Raptors in 2016 finished 1 game behind Cleveland for the first seed in the East, and last year Raptors still managed to finish with the second best record in the East, despite being the second most injured team in all the NBA, which means they're due for some good luck, as even in the playoffs against their biggest competitors, the Cavs, Lowry got injured in game 2, which meant the series was like 100% over. Also, I don't want every person in the comments being like, oh, well, you're just basing this on luck, but like, it's skill and luck. Like, when the Warriors won 73 games, they were the least injured team in all of the NBA, and you can't say that's not lucky. So, you know, luck plays a factor into all this. Also, people always overlook the Raptors, and their roster this year is arguably better than it was both those previous years. So at the third seed, I'm putting the Boston Celtics with a record of 54-28. Yes, I'm giving them a similar record to last year, despite everyone else predicting them to win a crazy amount of games this upcoming season. This season, even though they did add all-stars like Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, they lost all their role players, which is what made them a good team to begin with. I'd say Thomas is gone, but he got switched for Kyrie Irving, so that's basically all good now. But players such as Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and Amir Johnson, which I'm only naming the notable ones, are all gone from the roster. So the point I'm getting at is that all those players, which were the factor that made the Celtics good to begin with, are all gone, which in my eyes make them look too top heavy, as they only have Kyrie Irving and a one-time all-star in Gordon Hayward, who really hasn't proven himself to be a sustainable player, as he's only had, like I said, 1 good season where he selected to the all-star team last year. And I know Tatum could develop into an amazing player, but he would have to get some minutes in order to develop, and I'm not sure the Celtics will be giving those. So that's why I'm putting them at the third seed. At the fourth seed, I'm predicting it will be the Washington Wizards with a record of 49-33. The Wizards didn't really add anyone new to the roster this season, which makes me think that they'll basically be the same team as last year, but end up winning a few more games, which will ultimately not be enough for them to crack the top 3 seed. And I'm saying they're going to win a few more games because the East is horrible, like I said in the intro, and they also had a really bad slouch at the beginning of the season, so assuming that they don't have that again this season, I think they'll still win close to 50 games, but not be able to crack a top 3 seed. So at the 5th seed, I'm putting the Milwaukee Bucks. They did have some injuries during the regular season last year, so assuming everyone stays healthy along with the inevitable growth of this young team, I think they will end up winning 45 games and getting 37 losses, as they bump up 1 seed from last year. At the 6th spot, I'm putting the Miami Heat. They too didn't add much in the offseason besides Kelly Olynyk, but last year they just missed the playoffs, and that's because of their struggles in the first half of the season. So with the assumption that they will have that all sorted out, I think they'll have a better and more well-rounded season, which is why I'm putting them at the 6th seed, unlike their 9th spot they landed last year. At the 7th seed, I'm putting the Charlotte Hornets. This team has missed the playoffs for the majority of the previous years, but with the East being as bad as it is and the additions of Dwight Howard, who's looking to prove himself, along with freshly drafted Malik Monk, I see this team making the 7th spot with a record of 40-42, led by all-star Kemba Walker. And for the final playoff spot, this might be a little controversial, but I'm putting the Detroit Pistons. This team made the playoffs in 2016, but fell just short this previous year. But with the addition of Avery Bradley and the growth of Jackson and Drummond, I see this team taking the 8th seed with a record of 39-43. And also, I do know that they lost like a good player in Caldwell Pope, but I mean, the only other competition I see for the 8th seed is the 76ers. And to be frank, they're just really too injury prone right now for me to put them in like a locked in 8th spot. And even the news just broke yesterday that Markelle Fultz won't even be starting the season because they're going to put him like a minutes restriction, because even in the preseason and as we saw in Summer League, he's been having injuries. And we all know what the rest of the roster is, like, you know, like Joel Embiid's injury problems, everything like that. So all those reasons are why I'm preventing them from putting it in the top 8 and making a playoff spot. And Detroit Pistons were the only other like reasonable team I saw, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and that's why I'm putting them at the 8th seed. So yeah, that's basically all that I have to say for this video. Make sure in the comment section down below you leave what your predictions are for the Eastern Conference standings. And if you made it this far into the video, why not leave a like and subscribe for even more NBA content. Peace.